I changed the name to Tarantino Wilson. And it's
Welcome back to another episode of the Unveil podcast. My name is Quinell Ming. Today joining me is Terrence Wilson, the cinematographer at Unveil, and Canopy Media, our very talented Mr. Terrence Wilson from the Bahamas, and he'll be joining me on the discussion of the basics of starting in videography. What was that? Don't do that again. Don't do it again. Don't do that. The basics of starting in videography. Now, Terrence is from the Bahamas. You know what? Before, let me do this first. We started business shoutouts last week, and today we have two more businesses. Number one, coming all the way from Georgetown, Guyana, Uni Inc. Marketing, and the tagline United for Excellence. United for Excellence. Uni Inc. Marketing. This is an innovate and creator company of branding and marketing designs and ideas. They create branding and marketing design ideas. Visit them on Facebook at Uni Inc. Marketing. The second business is McCleary Art, Mandeville, Jamaica, and visit McCleary Art on Instagram at McCleary Art. Yeah, you can't really forget that. And if you do, just subscribe and then rewind. McCleary Art and Uni Inc. Marketing. Shout out for today. Now, Terrence, you're from the Bahamas. Yeah, you could talk now. You're from the Bahamas. Which island in the Bahamas are you from?
Hey everyone, so my name is Terrence Wilson.
Bro, I asked you one question. Which island in the Bahamas are you from? Y'all have all over 700 islands. I asked you one question. 700 islands and keys. Which part of the Bahamas are you from?
I'm from New Providence, but I'm also partially from Exuma.
You from New Providence and partially from Exuma. Which one is better?
In my opinion, Exuma is top down.
So Exuma is the best island in all 700 and whatever keys?
Islands and keys, yes.
700 islands and keys. So how many of them are islands? Y'all know all this? Oh, we have 700 islands and keys. Okay, how many of them are keys?
Right.
You don't know. How many of them are islands? Oh, you went for the Bahamas.
So we have New Providence, we have Exuma, we have Andrews, we have Long Island, we have Cat Island, we have Meguana, we have Nagua, we have Grand Bahama, we have Aucklands, we have, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I think there's a lot of pressure on you right now.
We have Bimini.
That's a cool name. I don't think you did. Yeah, you forget them now.
10 plus.
So were you attempting to recite 700 islands and keys?
No, the main islands.
Oh, so y'all just focus on the main islands.
Right.
So the 700, y'all should be friends with Antigua. 365 beaches, one in the year. Sorry, guys. But let's go. The basics of starting in videography. Now, this topic was prompted by Leandra Wilmot by her question in the comments of the last episode when she asked if we could do a video on making quality video and editing. And so we decided to pursue this. So thank you very much, Leandra. We're not going to focus on editing today, but more to the video aspect.
I mean, technically we are, because the video is going to be edited.
But we're not going to delve deep into editing. Bro, what are you doing? Anyways, now when it comes to video work, yeah, you are a videographer, cinematographer. What type of video do you like the most? Like what aspect of video production? And are you like, okay, for example, it's photography, there's portrait photography, there's event and whatever. And then videography, there's a film. What else? Okay, there's documentaries, short films. What else? Event coverage.
I would say that I lean more so between two, and actually the two that you mentioned. So I like documentaries. I really love documentaries. I can't explain why. What is it about them? Maybe it's the stories that are being told by various people or whatever subjects are in the film. But I really love documentaries and films. I also love films. Though I don't watch that much movies. I
You should not have said that, but continue.
Though I don't watch that many movies, right? For the very let me put it this way. I don't watch many movies, but I watch a lot of films, which doesn't really make sense, right? Let me clarify that. I don't watch many blockbuster movies, right? Let me put it that way. I don't watch many blockbuster movies, but there are different kinds of films located on different platforms such as YouTube that I watch on a regular basis. I prefer those films more. They're not really many movies that really captivate me. I don't know why. There are a few, trust me, but many movies nowadays don't really catch my attention, right? So I find myself dwelling between documentaries and films. I would probably set my niche into mixing those two and having that as my thing.
Do you have a favorite producer or director?
So I changed my name. A good friend prompted me to assisted me with changing my name. My name on Instagram was Terrence Wilson. Shameless plug. I'm gonna put this somewhere around here. Right? It was Terrence Wilson. Right? But I changed the name to Tarantino Wilson.
You Tarantino.
I changed my name to Tarantino Wilson.
What's the name of the friend?
I changed my name to Tarantino Wilson, right? And it's named after Quentin Tarantino.
That's good advice. So who's your friend? Who's the friend?
Next question.
Who's the friend?
Next question.
Okay, let's go back into the topic. Tarantino. First of all, that's all. Anyway, you cover many events. You do a lot of short films. When you approach a set, or if someone asks you to come and shoot a birthday party, for example, or to come and shoot a wedding, or you decide that you want to shoot a film and you approach a set, you already did your recon already. What is the first things that you look for on the set, like to make your film or make your production come alive?
Alright, so imagine this, right? For those people that take photos, right? Imagine you're walking somewhere, there's some bushland, something like that, right? You're walking near a forest, you're walking near this nice grassy scenery, right? And you see the image, right? You just see the image and you're like, I have to capture this, I have to take a photo of this, because you see it in your head before you even take it, right? When I go to scout out a certain location, I try to grasp the image or the video.
Make a mental picture.
Right. I try to get that before I even start recording or shooting.
Well, I could definitely relate to that because my focus is print design, so flyers, books, and all these things. Specifically flyers and social media graphics. I know what I want it to look like before I open Photoshop. Like, okay, from the name of it alone, I know, okay, this is what I want it to look. This is the colors I want, and this is the font, this is the feel I want. And sometimes it takes a lot of work in the setup. You gotta do a lot of erasing and deleting and readjusting. But when you get it, you know what it is. And it's most times you can't really explain it, or you just know what it is when you got it. Yes, I could definitely relate to that. But you said you want to create a mental picture. What is the most challenging part of that?
The most challenging part about that isn't even the visual aspect, it's more so the audio aspect, because I'm not really well versed in audio as of yet. Here's a good example. Let's say I have to shoot a funeral, right? People are crying, right? People are
very emotional.
It's very emotional.
Oh God, why you have to go and left me, man? Oh God, mommy, man. Oh God, oh, the mommy too chair, man. Who will feed me when they come?
It's a very emotional thing, right? In most cases. right?
Oh God, Sally, why you have to go and let me know? My God.
What's a famous funeral song that they like to sing?
No, not Side by Side we stand. There's this song, man. I can't. We all have to part one day. I think that's a Jamaican song that we hear this sing a lot. But yeah, we don't say nothing yet. But yeah, continue.
Right. So having to figure out where to place the mics, because in most cases I don't have a mixer. I don't have a large board to connect the mics to. So I have a recorder or I have a camera. Right. So I have to figure out how am I going to capture this audio. People are crying. People are giving their tributes, the eulogy, all these other things, right? How am I going to capture this? In most cases, the answer can be straightforward, but it's usually not easy to accomplish the answer, the solution, right? So I find myself struggling with audio, right? So if anybody who's seeing this is well versed in audio, hit me up on Instagram. I need some tips. I need some pointers.
Yeah, that's networking right there. But going back to getting a mental picture, would you say this is one of the first things or first advice that you would give somebody who wants to go into video production, that they should try to create a mental picture in their head before they even pick up the camera fully?
I would say you have to know what you're going to shoot before you start shooting. Impromptu shoots can be kind of fun, but when you're on an actual production or when you're on some form of work that is professional, right? Something that you need to get done, right? You can't show up to the place and not know or have an idea of what it is you're going to shoot. That's dangerous, very dangerous. If I know I'm shooting a funeral, for instance, it can be one of two things, right? Is either I'm shooting the whole ceremony from start to finish, showing the family what took place that day, or I'm giving a recap video, right? A recap film of, let's say, a summary. Yeah, a summary of what happened that day. It is either one of those two things. I can't just go up and just film somebody crying, film one plant, film somebody car. Yeah, right? I have to know what it is I'm going to do before I do it.
What I think I'm hearing you say is not only for the structure of the video, but the feel as well. You want to have an idea of how your video would feel when people watch it before you even start the video, before you even press the button. So that's why you should have a mental picture in your head. For the structure, just prepare, and then you know the feel that you want to accomplish in your video. But that's the overall aspect that includes lighting, audio, and of course the visual elements. But let's get deeper into I guess I already gave them the components of a good video. Now, audio. Tell us more about audio, what people should do when it comes to audio, what they shouldn't do, things that you would have learned, even though audio is not really your focus. But just tell us something about audio.
Right. So I'll start off with the notes, right? Because I feel like it's more easier to point out what you shouldn't do rather than what you should do. Right? So let's appeal to the regular average consumer, the average person trying to shoot something, a video, right? If you're using your phone, right, you want to make sure audio-wise that you don't cover your mics. I know it's a pretty obvious statement, but sometimes we can tend to forget either where our mics are or we don't even know where our mics are. So I know, for instance, on this phone, there's a mic under my camera right here. And then there's also a mic right here at the top of the phone in the front, right? When I'm shooting a video, I can't go covering the mics. I mean, I don't know what my finger would be in the first place, but I can't go and cover the mics when I'm shooting, right? Because it's gonna sound muffled. It's not gonna be as clear as it would be, right? And when people use earphones, right? This is an issue that I have, right? You have some nice earphones, and the earphones have the mic. They have it right there on the wire, right? Why you can take up the wire and put it up to your mouth and start talking for the audio to be distorted? For what reason, right?
Maybe they think that it will be clearer. The audio would be clearer when you put the mic closer to the mouth. Does it help?
No.
Okay.
In terms of loudness, yes. In terms of clarity, no. Right? In most cases, for earphones, the manufacturer has placed the earphone there, knowing that it's going to be used in that position. And technically, not technically, in a user scenario, that is the best place to leave it. Right?
Okay.
When you bring the mic up to your mouth, it can sound distorted, right? Very distorted, because the mic is not meant to be there. You're gonna sound loud, you're gonna peak, because you don't even have control over the audio, what is being sent through. So just keep the mic down now, please.
So one, keep the mic where it's supposed to be, where it's chest height or chest in the chest area. Don't bring the mic up. Yeah, don't do that. Secondly, learn where your mics are on your device. Samsung for life, but this is an iPhone. Learn where your mics are on your device so that you won't cover them if you're doing like a regular video call or some, I don't know. Or you shouldn't have filmed with your phone. I think the best way to hold it like this, handheld.
But another thing to consider is to give your mics some space. Well, it tags along with the second issue that I have.
Okay.
But give your mics some space. Every mic in this world has something called a pickup pattern, which is the area around the mic where it picks up the audio the best, to put it simply, right? So, for instance, with this phone, it's the pickup pattern for this mic is going to be around this area, right? You don't want to be too far away, but at the same time, you don't want to be right up under the mic. It's going to sound distorted. You don't want that. So, give your mic some space.
Okay, so that was audio. Now going on to lighting. Tell us about lighting.
In a standard scenario, the most standard lighting system that you can have is a 3-point lighting system, which usually contains your fill, your key, and your backlight, your rim light, something of that nature. In the studio right now, what we use is a 3-point lighting system, right? But we don't use all 3 elements. We usually use 2. So right now we have our key, which is in front of us, bouncing off the ceiling, and we have our backlights or our rim lights, or accents.
Okay.
Accents, right? Which is the orange lights you are seeing on us right now. Now, in an average scenario, you're most likely not gonna have a 3-point lighting system.
Right.
Most people
a lot of people
won't have 3-point lighting systems. In that case, what you may have is those ring lights. I see a lot of people have those ring lights.
Oh yeah,
They're good
ring
lights.
lights.
Yeah, they're good lights. Right. One key thing to consider when lighting yourself is try not to have the light a bit too harsh. In general, I don't want to say this wrongly, right? Because I don't know it from an actual physics perspective, but black people in general are typically harder to light than Caucasians.
I've heard that before, right? I've heard it before.
Right. For one, our skin is usually a bit more oily, right? Usually, on average, our skin is usually a bit more oily. So, in photos and in videos, you can see a lot of shine on our faces and stuff like that, right? You don't want your light to be a bit too harsh. It's going to show that shine, right? Give your light some space. I feel like this the whole theme of this is space. Give things some space.
Okay.
Right? But you want your light to be softer. The further you put your light, the softer it is. The further you have your light source, rather. The further you have your light source, the softer your light source is. So if you have a ring light, don't have the ring light in front of you like this. Give it
some breathing room. Right.
So that it can have a nice little smooth transition on your face. That's but yeah.
Smooth reflection, maybe? Is that a term you could use? A smooth shine? Fall off. Smooth fall off on your face. Regarding oily skin and whatever, wipe your face before.
Wipe your face. Use a napkin, use a tissue, your shirt, wipe off your face. And
give yourself some breathing room. What if they have no lights? What if they have no ring light, no 3-point lighting system? The flashlight on the phone don't work. What can they use?
Okay, so considering let's say that your scenario, you don't have any of those things.
No artificial light.
But you live in a house, you have a window.
Right.
Use that window. Right? So what's one common mistake you see somebody doing when they shoot by a window?
They turn their backs to the light source. So that causes the video footage, the subject, which would be them, to be dark. And then some of them wouldn't be able to understand why it's dark, why it looks so, why I can't fix the thing properly, and they can't ask the mother, I don't know mother, I can't deal with no phone thing, and we are young people, just that's what I see.
So with our mobile devices, we usually have something called auto exposure. right? So the phone will auto expose to some point on the screen, right? In the usual scenario, it's going to be to the rightest point, right? Or to your face, because they have face tracking, right? But let's say it doesn't, and your back is towards the window for whatever reason. It shouldn't be, but we'll stick with this first, right? What you're going to want to do is tap on the screen where your face is. Well, you can't, because you won't be able to see it. But, well, you can if you have the phone facing you. Yeah, right. Tap on
front camera.
Tap on the screen where your face is, so that the phone can expose for your face and not the background. The background is going to be blown out. It's going to be white, but that's okay because the focus is on you and not the background. But in an optimal setting, use the light from the window to shine on your face.
Right.
You don't
face the light source.
Face
the light source. Yeah.
Face the light source. You don't want to film with your back towards the light. You don't want to see that. Right? It's gonna look much nicer if you just have the light source falling on you rather than your back. That way you don't have to worry about exposing.
Right. And so in a Zoom meeting per se, if you have a Zoom meeting, maybe you have an interview tomorrow and you don't have any lights and you want the place to be as bright as possible, don't go to the window and turn your back to the window because you want the people to see a nice curtain. You know, boy, I buy this from Regent Street, buy this thing cost $3,000. I want them people to see me curtain. I want to feel like I get money in this interview so they could hire me. No, it's gonna make you really look bad and you probably won't get the job because your back was against the light source. Turn around, put your laptop or your phone at the window and let the light hit you in your face. The curtain would probably do a good job at diffusing the light and making the fall off softer on your face, on your person. So face the light source. Before we recap, we're going to visual. When it comes to overall visual, I don't know if somebody wants to make a film or they want to video something. Why don't you Zoom meetings again? What is something that they should consider?
Videoing.
Videoing.
Keep the camera stable and one, give yourself some headroom. Right?
Headroom.
Give yourself some headroom. In the usual scenario, you want to have a little bit of space over your head. Just to have breathing room. The whole theme of this video today is
breathing room.
Breathing room. Alright, cool, good. Right, give some
breathing room, head space.
Have some breathing room, right? You don't want to cut off your head here. You don't want to cut off right here. Give some space for your whole body to be individual. Well, not whole body. Give some space for yourself to be individual. Right? Another thing to consider from a visual aspect is try to have some depth in your shots. What do I mean by depth? Right? So in this video right now, we have something called the foreground, we have our middle ground, and we have our background, right? The foreground would be considered this item you see here on the table, this VR headset. It's in front of us, the foreground. The middle ground would be where we are, right here. And our background would be the Unveil podcast sign and the stool and the curtains and everything. What is the reason for adding depth? It just makes the video a little bit more pleasing to the eye. You make your scene a little bit more dynamic, a little more easy to look at. Right? If you're against the curtain, you're flat against your wall. I wouldn't say the user has to focus on you and the wall, but there's no sense of space in between. Breathing room. Yes, breathing room. There's no breathing room for you and the background.
I guess one quick advice to give space and breathing room to your videos is to just position yourself a bit farther than the object behind you. For example, most persons shoot in front of a wall. I'm talking about Zoom meetings again, or an interview or something. Don't sit back and touch the wall. Just give yourself some breathing room. But just to recap a bit, when it comes to visual positioning, the camera, don't put the camera below, and
try to keep your camera eye level if possible. It's like somebody sitting down looking at you, right? You're looking at each other. You don't want the person to be looking up at you. You don't want the person to be looking down at you. Those can be done in the right instances, but in a standard scenario, try to keep your camera eye level with your subject for the most, I guess, natural.
Eye level. One other thing too, editing. When it comes to editing, I mean, there's so much when it comes to editing. But if you could just give them one format of editing, or one component or one aspect of editing, like the jump cut, like we use on the podcast, What is the most basic advice you could give to someone who wants to go into video editing?
I would say know your pacing.
Okay.
Know your pacing. Do you want your video to be, let's not use the word drama because that's a negative word to use, right? Do you want your video to be slow?
Slow, yeah, slow. Slow paced.
To be slow paced, you know, give time.
The tempo slow.
Tempo, yeah, you have a low tempo, everything's moving nice and slow. Do you want your video to be, let's say, regular, standard? You know, your sentences are coming right after each other. Or do you want your video to be fast paced? You know, you're just shooting off, going on and on.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want your video to be fast paced? Know your pacing, right? Know your pacing for the video that you're shooting for. For instance, you don't want a funeral to be fast paced.
Yeah, that won't be nice at all.
Don't do that.
That won't be nice at all.
Don't do that.
I mean, you probably could shoot an action film in a funeral. I don't think the people who ask you to shoot the funeral would be very pleased though when you send them the final footage. I don't think they would be very happy with that at all. You know, just speed up everything and make it look very exciting.
Isn't exciting?
That's not nice. But let's just recap real quick. In editing, know your pacing. One thing that stood out in all three of them actually: audio, light, and visual. Proximity, given breathing room in the various aspects. Lighting, wipe your face. That's a simple encouragement. Face the light source. Visual, give yourself some headroom. Proximity again. Positioning the camera properly. Audio too. There's one tip to get good audio quality with your phone. I mean, phones already come with decent cameras, decent recording systems. But if you go to your room and you put a thick blanket over yourself, and then you record on the device, the blanket will traps the sound, and then it gives you a nice full audio quality. Barring that you don't have anything better or any other better device. It gives you the best that you could get at that level. So that is that for that. Did I ask you, I think we covered this, what advice would you give to someone who's now getting started in video production?
One advice I would actually give technically has little to do with what you said today. One advice I would give to a person who wants to get into video production, video shooting, anything around video: start. Just start shooting. Right? The longer you prolong yourself into learning or wondering if I have enough tools to shoot this thing, or if I can, or if I know what I'm doing, that's the time you could have spent gaining the experience actually shooting the thing, so that you have that knowledge to apply for your later videos. Just start.
Just start shooting, and I think I would add to that in saying start with what you have. So again, most persons now have the great phones or even decent phones. What's the lowest camera quality you think phones come with these days? 1080.
Most 4K. I think 4K is like a standard now.
Most phones?
Yeah.
Most are okay. Even at 4K, 1080. 1080 is a regular YouTube quality. You have a 1080. I mean the color quality might not be the best, and it might not do the best in low light. And well, most phones don't do really good in low light. But you have something that you could start with. You have headphones, you have your good phone audio. You could do a narration where you use the tip with the blanket and you record yourself under the blanket and add it up afterwards. And speaking about adding it up afterwards, when it comes to editing, Premiere, yeah.
Right. So another free app that you can use if you can't get Premiere Pro somehow, you can use DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve is a wonderful application, and it's free. It's for the most part, it's free.
Yeah.
For everything that you're gonna mostly need to start shooting, it's free in DaVinci Resolve. Just download it, start editing yourself.
DaVinci Resolve is a great app for it. I think we're probably gonna use DaVinci to edit this same video, so you're gonna know how good it is. Like, share, subscribe. We hope that we added value to your creative experience. Please share this video. Please subscribe. We need the subscription to go up. It's going up. Thank you. I think we passed 400. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but we're still grateful for it. We thank you. So please continue watching. Share it to everybody. I know it's unlimited shares, and shares are free. Yeah. Liking your video is also free. We probably gonna start charging you all for it. We can do that. We can do that. It's free. But thank you all for watching. See you next week.